What's going on, guys? I'm back with a brand new suggestion box review for you guys. I just watched a movie called Soft and Quiet, starring Stephanie Estes, Olivia Lucardi, seen her around quite a bit, and Melissa Paulo. First of all, you know what time it is. Do I even have to, huge shout out to the one, the only, the great Cheryl Burton. Bring them. Keep bringing them. Once again, we're back on it. We're back on our thing with this one. All right? First of all, again, I want this time, and I feel like I've talked about this before, but maybe I haven't. But I'm gonna officially do it now. Let's talk about racially charged films. All right, those type of films that when you watch them, if you are of a certain race, you might feel a certain type of way watching it. I've seen so many movies, I don't anymore. I'm used to that now, okay? I've seen a lot of these kind of movies. So, but others might feel a certain type of way. Let's get into the whole timeline of this. Because in 1975, Mandingo came out. All right, now, of course, I didn't see this much later. I was not around in 1975, but Mandingo was a quite insane movie about, a Mandingo fighter. They used to have the big buff slaves go around and fight for money, to the death. Okay, and this movie focused around that. And for some reason, they said this was just entirely offensive, but it's what they actually did. It actually happened. It's history. It's messed up, but don't say that it's, don't try to erase history. Okay? My whole point. But yes, there was a scene at the end of this movie, I remember, where, I'm not going to spoil anything, but it just was a rather odd ending scene. Let's just put it like that. All right? Yeah. Some cooking was going on there. All right? Then in 1988, Mississippi Burning came out. I remember this now, of course, because I was already around. I remember this movie being a very controversial movie as far as racism goes. And you watch this and you hear, it was one of the first movies I remember strongly where you hear the N-word just bellowing throughout the movie. And I was just like, oh, what? I've never seen a movie like that. And I didn't understand quite about what racism all, came with and what racism was really all about, because I was a little young at the time. And none of my friends said any racist stuff until I got older. But yes, that was a very interesting movie as well. It showed you a lot of things about Mississippi. A lot. And then in 1989, Harlem Nights came out. Now, Harlem Nights is more of a comedy. It had Eddie Murphy, Richard Pryor, and all that. Very legendary movie. It was a comedy / drama, to be honest with you. All right, very underrated as well. I think it's underrated in the whole entire universe of film. Okay, but at the same time, it had the whole mafia versus the black mafia thing going on, and they added a little humor to it. Of course, there's going to be some racism going on with that. All right, because the Italians and the blacks back in that, and African Americans back in that day, just all over each other with that. They did not like each other at all. So you're gonna hear words like, you're gonna hear a lot of disturbing words, especially the N-word, strong in this movie. All right, and I just like the way that the mobsters in that movie on the black side handled that. It just made me laugh. Okay, it's a very good watch. Please watch it. In 1995, Higher Learning. Okay, this was a very forgotten classic movie right here. A college drama with different races all intertwining and learning about each other, and having some feuds. You got the Aryan Nation going to this college, along with the Black Pride squad there. All right, a lot of the Muslims and all that stuff going on, and who believed in that kind of the woke of the past. Let's put it like that. The woke of the past. I guess you say that. All right, and there were a lot of like interesting scenarios in that movie, and the part where the Aryans fight the black squad, and Busta Rhymes is in the whole mix. People forget Busta Rhymes used to be skinny. Remember, he was skinny, and he was a young dude in a college movie. Busta Rhymes was in an actual college movie. Believe it or not. I'm not saying the man is not smart. I'm saying that he just didn't fit the image you have of him today. All right, back in the day. But Ice Cube was on there. It was a stellar cast too. It's a very underrated movie. Watch this movie as well. Please watch this movie. It might piss you off a little bit, but there's a whole reason behind this. Michael Rappaport. Also another one that you would not think that was him compared to today. All right. Then in 1996, A Time to Kill came out. Now a lot of people love this movie. Of course, you got the great Samuel L. Jackson in this one, and his daughters are violated in this movie, and he is ready to see blood. He's out for blood. All right. You have Kiefer Sutherland, who played a great the bigot on his part. He's part of the KKK and all that, and so that whole dynamic of actors and also Matthew McConaughey, it just keeps on hitting. It just kept on hitting. I think movies that were racially charged back in the day were not so saturated as the racially charged movies of today. This is why I haven't named a lot of the newer racially charged films, because it's just a different feel to the 90s and the 80s ones. I'm sorry. I just have to put it out there. There's nothing I can do about that. This is how I feel when you watch the movie. Okay? And in 2009, Inglourious Basterds came out. This is the first one on the list that really doesn't have to do anything with black people. I'm sorry. By the way, I'm sorry if not a lot of other races were represented in this list. I don't know a lot of movies that focus on the racism of other races. There are movies like that, but I just couldn't think of them off the top of my head. All right, I have to make a longer list. I know I've seen some, besides those towards Hebrews, in the Jewish community and black people. And there are others. It just is not as strong as the ones I'm mentioning now or memorable. Right, but Inglourious Basterds definitely focused on the whole Holocaust situation with quotes the Jew hunter. It's in the movie. Don't get on me for that. That's what they call him in the movie, okay? And that was a very interesting concept on the whole deal. Even though a lot of things in that movie were exaggerated, things that did not happen, but I'm sure people wish would happen like that. Okay, because Hitler was so horrible, and so, but I commend Quentin Tarantino for painting that picture of how he probably wished that would have went. All right, and it's just a very creative storyline. Brad Pitt's in there playing a very hilarious character, but he still did a great job of what he did. Okay, stellar film altogether. It never disappoints with Quentin Tarantino. Then in 2012, last but not least, we have the Django, another Quentin Tarantino classic. Jamie Foxx is in there. The other guy who was always playing the German guy is there. He is a German guy. It focused around slavery and one of a black bounty hunter in that time period was just unheard of. A black man riding a horse was unheard of. Okay, so and this movie got a lot of flack because it's written by a Caucasian man, and it has the N-word in here so many times. It's probably in here more than a movie that's probably written by a black man. Okay, but they said that a lot back in the day. They said that a lot in those days. That's just reality. They're not making something up. So why be mad at him? It's the truth. All right? And now my question is, with this movie, will this bring the same energy and make you feel the same kind of way as the other movies that I've just mentioned? We're about to find out. Let's go. Soft and Quiet. For those who don't know, for those who are not aware, I'm not going to blame you because this movie was in fact soft and quiet. All right. The trailer, I had to search around for this, and I saw it. I just never got around to it. Then I got a suggestion from Cheryl Burton to go ahead and just check it out. And that made me just actually put my eye to it and actually give it a second look, because I wasn't going to watch it at first. I just saw the trailer. I wasn't going to watch this at first, but thanks to her suggestion, I appreciate. Now I've seen the film, and I'm ready to tell y'all about this, man. All right, Soft and Quiet. It's pretty much about this teacher named Emily, who at the beginning of the film, you could tell that she had some prejudice. All right, she just kept complaining about the janitor at the school wiping in the same spot the little kid was walking in, and she made a big deal over that, and it was really out of context. All right, but it was out of line. And so when she starts going home from teaching her class, she walks down this trail, which is actually a way too long of a trail to be walking down. She encounters this building, this building she already knew was there. And when she comes inside, there are other women there, and an Aryan meeting begins. Okay, and I was not expecting that, but yes, an Aryan meeting, wives or women Aryan meeting is in full swing here, and they're just talking all their viewpoints of the day, like you would do in an Aryan meeting, I guess, and they decide to have a wine party later on. So they go to the corner store, which one of them owns, apparently. And two, I'd say Asian women come in. Two Asian women that Emily does not like, because one of them accused her brother of that crime. I'm not saying that on here, but you know what she accused her of. And a whole dispute pops out, and they start harassing these two girls, saying racist stuff and prejudiced stuff against her, and they run them out the store. Okay. Later on, they plan to go put a prank on these girls. The only man in the group is kind of against it at first, but then he's like, oh, okay, well, you know what? All right, we're going to be smart about this. And so they go on with their plan to prank these girls. They go to their house, go through their stuff, violate their stuff. The girls come home early. The guy says peace. And of course, these girls go overboard with the prank. And that's the premise of the movie. Positives. This, if nothing else, this film is extremely intense. Okay, it'll have your heart beating, because the camera shot, just the way the camera shot does its rotation and shows everything happening at once. It's like they go on one shots, and you get to see everybody's expression, everybody how they feel, and all the women in there are like different in a way. So you get to see everyone's personality expressed throughout this, And then when it gets down the line to the prank part, it gets so crazy. And the anxiety level rises when things go wrong. And I just felt a reaction within myself, like, oh, a little bit of irritation, but at the same time, excitement, like, oh man, what's gonna happen? What are they gonna do next? What are they gonna do next? What's gonna happen next? Because it's getting crazy here. This is just getting insane. This is turning into something it shouldn't turn into. It's like what's the phrase? That escalated quickly. Yes, that would be the title, the subtitle of this movie. That escalated quickly. Okay. Second positive. This movie did not hold back. It's a racially tensioned movie. And I was also warned that, yes, it would be like this. Okay. I'm like, I've seen all kinds of movies. I've seen all kinds of films. I'm sure this is not going to get me. All right. But I did notice it was a slow come up. They said a few things. Then the slurs got a little more harsh, get ready for that. And you're like, oh, so here, yeah, and there we go. I was like, at first I was like, oh, well, that's not that bad. That's not bad. Then I was, we're getting to the bad ones. We're getting to the rough ones. All right. Got it. That's the kind of group this is. That's the kind of group this, and to be fair, it's real. It's all honest and real stuff, because who knows what people say in the privacy of their own home, in a group amongst friends that they trust. People will say a lot of stuff that you wouldn't think they say in public or at work or at school. So to hear stuff like this that are said in privacy amongst their own friends is, in a weird way, refreshing to the mind as far as getting some truth. All right. Next positive. This was most definitely a fresh idea for me. All right. Most of the time when you see movies like this, it's always on the man's side. You always see a group of racist men, the KKK, the Nazis, and neuro-Nazis, whatever. And it's mostly men. Maybe a few women in there, dipped in there, but they really strongly focus on the men's side of things. Okay. This time around, you get a whole group of women, except for one guy who was just happened to be at the store when they come in there, who was connected to Emily. All right. That was, I guess, Emily's boyfriend or whatever. But besides that, there are no men included in this like that. You only get the women. And I've actually never seen it ever in any movie. Not in the numbers they had. Okay, so great way to come into this film. Great way to release this and show a different side of the Aryan nation. All right. Not saying that's great. I'm saying just the idea for the film. Okay, get it right. Next positive, or last, the light at the end of the tunnel. Okay, amongst having that little prank and whatever happens within that prank, there's a part in the movie, I'm going to admit, that's kind of just, you don't know where it's going. All right. And you're like, I was the whole time I was like, okay, so things have happened, things have occurred, and now they're just kind of dragging. I don't know where's this going? Where's this going? And that's where it went. Which is kind of, it's not really a twist. If you don't even need the Xavier powers, all right, to predict something. I'm not gonna say anything. I'm not saying anything. I'm just saying watch the movie, okay? But when I get that moment, I'm like, oh, okay. This is interesting. This is the answer I needed. So because of this, Okay, I can't say why or what or what the because is. Because of this. Just know that. All right. Negatives. There was an abundance of stale acting in this movie. It's an underground type film, so you're gonna get some of that stuff sometimes, of course. But in this case, I don't think they knew where they wanted to go with how to feel sometimes, or how to express those lines. All right, they're a little bit on the stiff side and a little awkward. All right, and it kind of detoured me from what was going on. Like, oh, and especially at the beginning of the film. So I was like, okay, I don't know much about what's going to happen really. So they're already not really doing the best acting in the world. Oh, save me. All right, save me. Save me soon. What's going to happen? Please, freshen up on those acting chops. Please. It's kind of stiff, a little dry. All right. You all been in other movies before. Is this on purpose or what? Another negative. These are the dumbest people on earth. The group of the Aryan wives or women, they're so stupid, especially when it gets to the point of the prank. The man and the group tried to tell them 5 minutes and we're out. Do you think they listened to that? Do you think they listened to the 5 minutes? And the way that Emily treated her dude, there are so many just directions he could have went in response to her treating him like she treated him. But he's better than a lot of guys. He is better than a lot of guys. All right. In real life, no. A lot of that went the way that it went. Okay? Not at all. And my last negative. How is Emily a teacher? Please make sense of this. I don't know. And I have family members that are in the education system. Okay? And I still have never realized, or how do they do background checks on people? Do they do background checks on teachers? Or how does that process even go? I think I'll ask those family members how that even goes, because in this movie, Emily just was. If the students and the faculty knew what she really was about, they would irk in horror and just disgust. Hopefully they would do that. All right. Because to know what kind of person she really is horrifying, to say the least. It's terrible. And they have to see some kind of sign that she's not all there. If you only knew. But I'm gonna give this a hell yes. You did it, Cheryl Burton. I'm giving it a hell yes for that ending. All right. I'm not gonna say too much, but the ending was all that mattered. Like, share, and you better subscribe.